And alright, so we just finished the Alice Cart attraction, the second puzzle of this, I guess, explosive death game, or whatever. I've also fiddled with a few settings off screen, and I think I fixed it. You know, like the weird lip sync glitch and everything. I think I fixed it. Hopefully I did. We'll see, I guess. So let's see. Just as before, once we got outside the sun, or just as before, once we got outside, the sun had already set. 7 o'clock. We cut it pretty close again, huh? We waited for the Count for a while, but he never appeared.
Yakko-san, 今日はもう出番なしか?
怒って拗ねてるんじゃない?
Wakasa shrugged.
ホテルが接岸するのは確か22時だったな。ひとまず昨日と同様、レストランにでも向かうか。
腹ペコペコだぜ。
賛成。僕もうお腹空きすぎで死にそうだよ。
I don't know if it's true, but I think I read somewhere that Wakasa's voice actor, by the way, is the same voice actor for Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. So maybe that's why I find a lot of the voices familiar, but maybe that's the same voice actor for Wakasa.
ひとまずレストランに向かい、腹ごしらえと打ち合わせをしよう。
With that, we were off. We hadn't gone that far before Shirabe headed off in a different direction. Where are you going?
俺は例によってそこらを調べてくるとするよ。また後で合流するから。
Oh, okay, see you later then. Don't do anything suspicious, such as planting bombs all over the amusement park or something. Well, there's already bombs, I guess. As I washed them off, I felt strange. Huh? Why do I feel uneasy? Is something wrong? I spent the rest of the walk trying to figure out what I felt, but before I knew it, we'd arrived. And I do believe, by the way, I mentioned it before, but the art style does remind me of Phoenix Wright, and I think it's because it actually is. You know, the same artist that worked on Phoenix Wright also worked on this game. So, there you go. Just like before, the restaurant was being run by the piglet.
しかし、毎日あんな手の込んだ仕掛けよく作りやがってな。
アトラクションの運営は黒子がしてるよね。
あ、ってことはさ、動かしてる黒子を捕まえて白状させれば。
もしや彼らが喋らないのはそのせいなのでしょうか。
Oh, he wants to make sure none of them let anything slip.
くっそ、あの豚、どこまでも姑息なやつだぜ。
Well, I mean, we don't actually know for sure. Everyone was busy shoveling food into their mouths when they weren't talking. I chose some fried pork and rice. Nom nom nom. Huh? Oh, haha. Yeah, I just felt like something heavy today, you know? I guess.
がっつりな気分とは？
がっつり食べたいってことだよ。
ああ、なるほど。ってなんで目押しこうだ。お前が答えるんだ。
いや、なんとなく。
おいしい？脂っこくない？
Yeah, it's pretty good. Nice and crispy. I really like it. I don't know why everyone's... It's like crowded around Saki's like fried rice for some reason.
そう
It's
な
a
んだ。
mystery.
僕アイドルだからカロリーにはちょっと気を使っててさ。油物って太るよね。
Oh, right. For some reason, everyone seemed to be fascinated by my dinner. Yeah, why is everyone... It's kind of embarrassing to have all these guys looking at me. I shrugged it off and gone back to eating when my cell phone suddenly began to ring. Was that a ringtone? That sounded like, I don't know, like an emergency warning or something.
おい、外部との連絡はルール違反だぞ。
He frowned as I pulled the phone out. Sorry, I didn't... Wait, it's a text. I looked at the sender, my eyes widened. It's from my uncle.
おお、人質になってるっていうお前の。
Yeah.
二人とも静かにしろ。どこであいつが聞き耳を立てているかわからないからな。
Oh, he's always listening.
人質ってことは内部からの連絡なんだし、別に文句はねえだろうが。
とはいえだ。人質との連絡をあいつがみすみす見逃すとは思えない。
You're right. I read the text in silence, then sent back a quick reply. It was only a few seconds before I got an answer. After several more messages, I was able to piece together what had happened to him and the hostages. They were under guard, but when some of the piglets had left their posts, why, he didn't know, he'd been able to contact me. They were all safe for now. I looked up at the others and nodded. They all seemed to understand. After checking to make sure we weren't being watched, I handed my cell phone over so they could see what I'd learned.
おい、このことは内密にな。
なんかの時に役に立つかもしれねえしな。
Right. Did everybody hear that?
了解。承知しました。
わかったよ。それより調べさん、なんだか遅くない？
そういやそうだな。
I'll go see if I can find him. As I stood up to leave, I felt the same uneasiness as from before.
おい、一人で大丈夫か？
I'll be fine. I'm just gonna take a quick look around. Totally nothing will go wrong. I gave everyone a quick reassuring grin and headed out of the restaurant. But what's up with this weird feeling I keep having? I don't know. Is it a premonition? A deadly one? Alright, time to start looking. I decided to start with a racing square. Whoops! What happened? I thought we slipped on a banana or something. Then, just as I rounded the corner of the building, I saw him. Shira! I opened my mouth to call out, then stopped. It looked as if he was talking to someone. Who could you be talking to? I ducked back behind the wall, then peeked out. He seemed to be using the statue of the screenhead that Hogstein always appeared on. It's on. Does that mean you can use it to talk to other people? I mean, he couldn't be talking to Count Hogstein, right? I felt my stomach flip-flop just as the glow from the screen disappeared. Eep. I ducked back behind the wall in reflex. I wasn't sure why, but I didn't want him to know I had been watching. Shirabe, there you are.
お嬢ちゃん、どうした？
Dushto? As if he doesn't know what just happened. I'd expected him to be a little startled, but he seemed as unshakable as ever. What should I say? I mean... Ironically, I think actually calling him out on it actually is the correct thing to do. Because didn't he say before, like, you know, you should always pursue the truth? What were you just doing? What were you doing? No point in being around the bush.
そこらを調べるって伝えたつもりだったがな。大した収穫はなしだったが。
Okay, suspicious. He shrugged, dodging my question. It looked like he wasn't gonna fess up. Okay. He's not gonna tell me anything. Maybe that was wrong. I don't know. Well, I didn't want to be suspicious, but he was acting awfully strange. Would it be a good idea for me to tell the others? Or should I just keep what I've seen to myself? Shinobe just continued to chew his snack, apparently oblivious. Who is he talking to? I don't know. The hotel eventually arrived and we all boarded it just like before. Ultimately, I decided not to tell anyone about what I'd seen and kept my worries to myself. Well... I mean, I don't know. Is that the right thing to do? Actually, I don't know. Because obviously, you should probably call him out on it. But, at the same time, if it's nothing, it would break the harmony. you know, of everyone, and therefore nobody would cooperate, or at least, you know, everyone would like be very suspicious against him, and then it's gonna be hard to cooperate when we do the other puzzle. But then if he is, you know, doing something suspicious in the first place, I don't know. Well, Shirabe didn't seem to be acting any differently.
一日お疲れ様でした。
ああ、みんな疲れただろうからな。ゆっくり休んでくれ。
おい、お前大丈夫かよ。さっきからだんまりで。まさかさっきのカツ丼に当たったのか？
No, no, that's not it. It's just
ただ
nothing. I was just thinking, that's all.
まあまあ皆さん、彼女は唯一の女性なんです。愛しい人のことを考える時間も必要でしょう。
What? No.
そんなに慌てて。可愛らしい方です。
You're also suspicious. Little hasn't done anything, but I don't know. It's because of the Brock eyes. You know how Brock always closes his eyes for some reason? It's always those type of characters. You know, well, I guess Brock himself, you know, from Pokemon, I guess he wasn't like suspicious or anything, but usually in anime, the type of character that always closes their eyes and then only opens them in serious moments or whatever, they tend to be very suspicious. Don't make fun of me. I turned and stalked off, my cheeks hot. I could hear them laughing behind me. Listen, how just laughing at? How rude. What a bunch of jerks. I sighed and headed for my home, for my room. There wasn't much point in talking about Shirabe until I knew more. I collapsed onto my bed as soon as I got to my room. The day really tired me out, but after seeing Shirabe doing whatever he was doing, I just feel drained. I rolled over and let out a long sigh before I heard the sound of voices from outside my room. Who is that? It can't be the piglets, right? I slowly opened the door and peered around it. At the end of the hallway, I could see Mitarashi, apparently talking to himself. Is he on his cell phone? He knows we're not supposed to talk to people outside. I sighed. I knew he wasn't exactly a rules guy, but I hadn't thought he'd go that far. He's gonna get us all in real trouble. Or maybe he's talking to one of the other players. No, that can't be right. Why would he need the phone then? Who is he talking to and why? Maybe I was just feeling suspicious after catching Shirabe, but I decided to... Oops, no, I didn't mean to do that. But I decided to head out of my room to see what Mitarashi had to say for himself. Keep accidentally hitting the analog stick. Hey.
どうした？もうとっくに寝ちまったかと思ったぜ。
What should I do? I keep doing this. I'm just being straightforward. I mean, there's so much intrigue now. Everyone's betraying each other. Somehow, even though this game, you know, the game within the game, I guess, isn't about betraying each other, it just seems like everyone is betraying each other for some reason. Were you on the phone? Were you on the phone just now? There was no point in not just getting to the point.
いや、ただの独り言だ。
Okay. You were talking pretty clearly for a guy having a conversation with himself.
気のせいだろ。いろいろありすぎてよ。状況を整理してたっつうか、お前だってそんな時あるだろう。
Yeah, I guess so. It was obviously nervous. Something was up. Okay, so Mitarashi, Shirabe, they're up to something as well. We said goodbye and I headed back to my room. Shoot, first Shirabe and now Mitarashi. I sat down on my bed, unsure what to do next. Wait, of course, I should talk to Uncle Keiji about it. I knew he was in a much worse situation than I was, and I didn't want to worry him, but I had to talk to someone. I typed out a quick text. Hopefully he can read that without the piglet seeing it. And I believe, yeah, okay, so I think I looked it up, but I believe Keiji Inafune really is like a real person. I think he's, I don't know if he's like the developer, but I know he's the producer and illustrator for like Mega Man, you know? Mega Man and some other games, I believe, in Capcom. And so Saki is like, I don't know if she's real. Is Saki real? But apparently she's the niece of a real person, at least in real life. In this game. Which is kind of weird, but whatever. I told her about my suspicions regarding Tarashi and Shirabe and then set it off. That didn't really solve anything, but at least I feel better now. I closed my cell phone with a sigh. 11 o'clock. I'm tired, but I still don't feel sleepy. I was probably just still feeling kind of worked up. I decided to go outside and get some air. Alright, let's go. With a deep breath, I picked myself up and headed out of the room. It's just like happy music. Do 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 do. I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna go full Miyoshi, whatever. Just go full gamer boy. Like if I had to pick one, I guess I'll just pick gamer boy. Gamer boy. That's what. He's a bit on the nose though. I don't know if I've already said. I think I already said it, but you know, he's like the one character that's a nerdy gamer. And obviously, if you're gonna play video games in general, like this one, you're gonna be a bit of a nerdy gamer yourself. So it's a little bit on the nose how this person is basically you. Especially, you know, if like he's a female version, his gender version. You always see that character, right? That is always like sharing the same interest because you're literally playing a video game. So therefore, it's very likely your hobby is the same. But anyway, Miyoshi. No, not really. What are you doing up so late? Can drink some red bean soup again? Huh? Oh, I guess you couldn't catch any shut-eye last night either, huh? You need more than a little. Well, have you tried counting sheep? His eyes, by the way, kind of remind me, I mean, it's the insomniac eyes, or whatever. That just reminds me of L. You know, L from Death Note. Anyway, well then, to heck with it, sleep is for the weak. Just don't sleep. Even though it's been proven that you'll go insane if you don't sleep. Huh? Don't you laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. He's never laughed before. He started laughing again. I felt rather pleased with myself. Happy to help. Love point +1. He yawned and headed back to his room with a wave. Well, I'm not sure what exactly I did, but it seems like it worked. I smiled. Yes, I'm happy with myself. I smiled to myself. By the time I got back to my room, I was so tired I could barely stand. I took a quick shower and collapsed into bed. A quick check of my phone showed that my uncle hasn't responded yet. That's because he was executed. Or, you know, texting people. Guess I'll just have to wait. He's in a pretty bad spot. I shouldn't be impatient. I let my eyes drift shut and almost immediately fell into a deep sleep. More of this. I don't know what that picture is. Like it's a pendant? I guess it's like a locket, I guess is what you would call it. Like the type that opens up. The sound of me and my sister chattering and laughing filled the car as we drove toward the amusement park. Okay, apparently Saki has a sister. Or well, or is Saki the sister maybe? I don't know. We're not sure who this perspective is from.
子供たちも楽しそうだし、仕事を休んだ甲斐があったな。
あなた。でも、仕事をお休みして本当に良かったの？
Well, just judging from the voices, but also this, the female voice also said anata. So I guess, yeah, it's probably like a dad and a mom, Saki and her sister. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
まあ、たまにはいいだろう。それに、いつもお前には子供を任せっきりですまないと思ってる。
あら、どうしたの？急に。
こんな時くらい本音を言っておかないとな。
ねえ、パパ、まだつかないの？
もう少し待ってなさい。じきに遊園地が見えてくるよ。
And then again, it's hard to tell. You know, child's voice, I mean, usually how it's voice acted in a lot of media, when you voice act a little boy, often it's actually a female voice actor, you know, pretending to be a boy. So I can't tell if it's Saki or maybe Saki's brother, you know, from a different perspective. I'm not sure. Anyway. Can't tell. It's left ambiguous, I guess. Well, here's stage 3. Gah. I shot up out of bed, startled awake by a bad dream. Gosh, that was horrible. Everybody betrayed everyone else. The dream was probably just my brain trying to deal with what I'd seen Shirabe Mitarashi doing the night before. I checked the clock and it was still early. Okay, so apparently her dream was different from what we've seen, however. So that wasn't really a dream, I guess. Well, no reply yet. Shoot. I was disappointed, but there wasn't much I could do. My uncle was in a far worse position than I was. He couldn't be expected to respond to texts quickly. I guess that means I'll just have to handle things on my own then. With that decided, I hopped out of bed and began to get ready. But before long, I heard a knock at the door. I peered through the peephole to see a piglet standing outside, so I opened the door to let him in. He fled about in something that seemed to translate to "Ohayo gozaimasu," and then pulled in the room service cart. Whatever was on it smelled incredible, and my stomach rumbled in response. So, what's for breakfast? The corpses of your friends. No, still not talking, but it looks like he's trying to tell me something. My best guess was that my breakfast was going to be some kind of jello-like product. I wasn't particularly excited for it, but the piglet pulled the lid off the tray with a flourish, and my eyes widened. Ah! I've been completely wrong. Instead of boring jello, it was a delicious-looking spread of Japanese-style cooked fish, a meal fit for an emperor. Breakfast? Oh, this looks great. I love Japanese food for breakfast. Okay, I wonder how this is translated, because technically we're all Japanese. Why are we saying Japanese? Well, I don't know. I guess even if you're Japanese, maybe you still refer to the food as Japanese style, I guess, because you've been eating different types of food in the area. Anyway. Because, you know, it just reminds me of Phoenix, right? You know, not just the art style now. I'm just thinking, is this like a weird localization thing where it's like, we're in Japanica or Japanrica or something? I don't know. Kind of like this mixed Japan/America hybrid country where people don't know what, you know, their own culture or like Japanese people pretending that they don't know what Japanese things are, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. He replied with a thumbs up. They don't seem to mean any harm, but it's hard to tell what they're really thinking if they don't talk. I was still pondering that while the piglet bowed and left the room. Oh, of course. He just left when I finally realized it. That wriggling. He wasn't saying it was jello, he was saying it was fish. I grinned and went back to eating. At last, I was starting to feel like I could understand the piglets. I don't know why we even have that scene. Like, that was, I guess, kind of like a filler scene, unless there's some kind of piglet route. Like a piglet ending, where we just, you know, increase love points of the piglets. Anyway, I took my time with my breakfast, and when I finally finished it, it was nearly time to meet up with the others. I changed and headed down to the lobby.
Ohayo.
Good morning to you, Shido. Everyone was waiting in the lobby, just like the day before. Everyone, that is, Except Shirabe and Mitarashi aren't here yet. They were both on time yesterday. I felt my suspicions growing stronger. I wish this weird feeling would just go away.
どうしたお嬢ちゃん難しい顔して
Yeah.
なんだよ。そんなに驚かなくてもいいじゃないか。
Not for free. I feel like that was local. I don't think that was translated in the original dialogue. Not for free. I spun around to see Shirabe and Mitarashi. Sorry, I was just kind of spacing out, I guess.
考え事ね。
Yes.
まあいいお嬢ちゃんにもいろいろあるんだろ
He gave me a nod and then continued toward the sofa where everyone else was already gathered. I found myself gazing out the window of the river beyond. They were talking about our plans for the day, but I didn't feel like joining in. Sigh. I kept replaying what I see Mitarashi and Shirabe doing over and over in my head. What did it mean? Well, you see, Saki, it's called forbidden love now. It seems they're communicating with each other secretly. Oh, Urube.
すみません。考え事のお邪魔でしたか。だいぶ沈んでいるように見えますが。
No, I'm fine. Then I paused. Should I tell him what I'd seen? Would that make me feel better? No, probably not. Yeah, nothing wrong here.
そうですか。お疲れのようでしたら、あまり無理をなさらないでくださいね。
Stop smiling with your eyes closed. It just looks so suspicious. I think that's why. I was wondering why I found him so suspicious. It's because he keeps doing this face, you know? This is usually the anime equivalent of like a snake that's gonna like stab everyone in the back. But, you know, I don't know if that's true or not. It just seems that way because of his face. It keeps making that expression. He gave me a friendly smile, then returned to the others. Just as it had the day before, the boat docked at the plaza in front of the castle.
さてと今日はやっこさんどんなゲームを仕掛けてくるのかね
どうせとんでもないやつに決まってるよ
We talked for a bit, discussing what might happen that day, but before long we were interrupted by a voice we'd all come to dread. He sure seems happy today. It made me uncomfortable.
なんだあいつやけに機嫌がいいじゃないか
何か裏があるんだろうね
Apparently I wasn't the only one who was suspicious.
Big surprise なんだそれは
Big surprise. I swallowed. Ah yes, time to spice some things up. Traitor? How fun! I felt my stomach twist in my gut. My eyes flicked to Shirabe and Mitarashi before I could stop them. He mentioned one traitor, right? Unless there's two. But Shirabe and Mitarashi might be red herrings. The real traitor could be someone else. Or it could be one of them, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. No, he can't be telling the truth. This has to be some kind of trick. But why would he go out of his way to say one of us is a traitor? I felt the atmosphere grow suddenly tense. Then Shirabe spoke.
耳を貸すんじゃないぞどうせ夕べの仕返しに俺たちのチームワークを引っかき回したいだけに違いないからなああそうだな俺も同感だ
If I hadn't seen Shirabe with the statue the day before, I probably would have agreed too, but as things were, this just makes him more suspicious. Then again, Mitarashi was on the phone too. Maybe he was talking to Hogstein. Pig's words about a traitor in our midst kept echoing around in my head.
何思い詰めた顔しちゃって。
Oh, sorry. Did I really look that out of it? Also, again, I just mention it's nice that finally the lip syncs are actually working. As I've noticed, you know, usually it's Wakasa that his lips don't work. But also when you zoom in on the characters, sometimes they don't speak or whatever. I finally fixed it. Hopefully. It seems to be working, so that's nice. I'm glad.
あいつのあんな言葉、信じるだけバカを見ると思うよ。
Because it's always little... Still talking, I mean, talk over him. But it's always like little things like that that kind of like annoy me. You know, just like small little problems that, you know, it doesn't make the game unplayable, but it's always slightly annoying. So it's a good thing I think. Anyway, I'm just patting myself on the back. Alright, don't, apparently, yeah, Wakasa's saying, oh, don't trust him, because he's just trying to, you know, rile everyone up, but you're right, I know, it's just...
気持ちはわからないでもないけどね。でも、あんなことをわざわざ言うなんて、僕たちを動揺させたいだけだろうからさ。
Yeah, I know. I gave him the best smile I could manage, and tried to act like everything was alright. It wasn't, though. Wakasa hadn't seen what I had. How could he know? Not, to be honest, not as good as... I guess it's funny, when I think of, you know, this kind of setting, I think of Danganronpa. I also think of, I guess, the Zero Escape games. There always seems to be a mascot. I guess 999 did not have a mascot. I do know that VLR, though, Virtue's Last Reward, the second game in the Zero Escape series, which has a similar setting, you know, where everyone's kind of stuck and they have to solve puzzles. It's very similar, actually. More similar to 999 than it is to, I guess, Danganronpa. Yeah, there's always this like, you know, evil mascot that's just quirky and not exactly cute, but they're trying to be cute, I guess. Ugly cute? I don't know. Anyway, okay, apparently there's a new rule though. The use of cell phones is against the rules now. You can just do that? You can just say no cell phones? No cell phones! In the class. We walk toward the next game in silence. I guess they're all nervous too.
さあ、気持ちを入れ替えていきましょう。それで、今日のアトラクションは一体どんなゲームが元になっているのですか?
We clapped his hands, or he clapped, not we, but he clapped his hands together as he spoke and looked around, smiling.
確か血まみれホスピタルだったか?
Oh, well that sounds more horrific than the other ones. The Bloodstained Hospital.
日本の片田舎にある廃病院を舞台にしたホラ
I
ー
see.
アドベンチャー。
It sounded like Miyoshi knew quite a bit.
懐中電灯を片手に廃病院内を探索して徘徊するゾンビに見つからないように脱出するのが目的。
Okay, so probably, you know, probably a reference to like Resident Evil or Silent Hill or something.
通常のライフとは別に恐怖ゲージっていうのがあって、それがマックスになるとゲームオーバーになるのが特徴なんだ。
Terror gauge, eh?
ホラーゲーム？
そいつは面白そうじゃないか。無事級アイランドの戦慄ラビリンスが確かそんなやつだったな。
Okay, that just confirms that he's just apparently just an amusement park fan. He really just likes going to amusement parks, apparently.
それロケで行ったことある。
マジで？あれすげえ面白いよな。
お前詳しいな。
別に俺が言ったわけじゃねえよ。ただほら、ああいうの女が好きだろ。だから職業柄だな。
うしよう。僕、怖いのは本当にダメなんだけど。
I guess now Wakasa is a bit of a coward, as we've learned. Well, at least it looked like we know a little about the attraction going into it. I'm worried about the traitor, though. I couldn't focus on the game we've been playing. What if one of us was working for the pig? I sighed and looked around. Maybe I'm the traitor. Who knows? What? Oh, who was that? What? There's a character that's not like a B shonen in this game. Who is that? Or at least, well, I mean, I guess if we count all the characters, I guess there's the pig and the piglets and technically Keiji Inafune, but you know, most of the characters in this game, they're just attractive B shonens, so I'm surprised there's anyone else in the actual story. I thought I saw someone move in the shadows over there. Huh.
大方黒子ってところじゃねえか。
もしくは何か見間違いかもしれんな。侵入者がいればワルド部が黙っているはずがなかろうよ。
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Totally. I look too small to be a piglet. Perhaps I was just seeing things. It's just the trick of the light. The Bloodstained Hotel was a strange building with a giant needle stuck into it. Okay. What's that say? I'm trying to look at that. I'm very rusty when it comes to like, even this is just basic, I believe, hiragana, but momine, is it momine, monire? Was it manire, I don't know. Pitaru? Hospitaru? Oh, it's just hospital, I guess. So probably, yeah, let's say the second thing is hospital. The first thing is, what is that? Is it ma or mo? I think it's mo, right? Monsur, I don't know. Mosure? I don't know, anyway. The blood is a giant needle. That sure looks pretty spooky. I could see the blood drain out of Wakasa's face. I guess he wasn't kidding about not being good with scary stuff. You know, they even have the dark clouds as part of the amusement park somehow. They changed the weather just for this attraction. I felt a little sorry for him, but we didn't exactly have a choice. You know, when I think about it, I mean, we've already been going through these attractions, but actually, you know, a video game themed amusement park does sound pretty fun, actually. It's kind of cool that we're just going through all the different genres of, like, you know, video games and everything. And I guess that's why, because I remember asking myself, I guess I didn't connect the dots until now, but I guess I remember asking myself why Keiji Inafune, like a game developer, why is he in charge of a theme park? That's because, you know, the whole point of the theme park is that it's video game themed. That's why. I guess I didn't really think about that too hard. Anyway, his forced cheerfulness contrasted especially strangely with the creepy appearance of the hospital. In fact, it made it even scarier. No sooner had we approached the entrance than we encountered our first obstacle. There were 3 huge doors instead of a single one. So, we can just enter whichever one we want? I'm still trying to read that thing, you know, the thing under the giant needle. I know the second thing is hospital. Hospital, something like that. But why can't I read the very Momire. I want to say momire. That's not a word. What's momire? I don't know. Momire? Momine? Momure? Momore? Momone? Momore? Momare. I could be wrong, however.
どうやらラテン語のようだな。この扉を通る者は一切の希望を捨てよう。
Did he say? Well, in Japanese he said Latin, right? Latin? Or maybe that's Italian. Anyway. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. You know Italian? I stared at him incredulously.
地獄門。ダンテの新曲か。
He smiled knowingly and tapped his forehead. He was tapping his forehead. That was when I realized what was really behind the grim feelings I've been experiencing. It would suck if a traitor destroyed the team we've built, even if we have only known each other for 2 days. But if we lost even one person, we'd be in real trouble. Each attraction so far has needed every single one of us in some way.
おい、大丈夫か?
Oh yeah, sorry. I just kinda spaced out for a minute. So, what should we do?
ああ、全員で固まって進んだ場合、その扉が間違いだった時の時間のロスが怖い。
yes. Scooby-Doo. The one thing you shouldn't do in a survival horror genre is to split up. We're going to do that exactly. But I guess it makes sense. It's always funny. You always point that out. Like, why are you splitting up? There's no point. Well, we are on a time limit, so actually splitting up probably is the more efficient option. I don't know if it's the more safe option, but...
確かにそれが一番かもな。で、例によって組み分けだけど、どうするよ。
俺は誰とでも構わんよ。
ああ、俺もだ。
僕だって誰とでも構わないよ。別にこんなの作り物でしょ。怖くないし。
私も誰とでも構いません。
Mitarashi's face broke into a wide grin. I can almost see the gears spinning up in his head. Wait, what's he planning? This seems suspicious.
おい、目押し。俺と一緒に行こうぜ。
僕と？
いいだろう。どうせ誰かと組まなきゃなんねんだしよ。
Miyoshi didn't seem particularly thrilled.
別に構わないが、お前はまたどうして彼と一緒に行きたいんだ？
別に何でもねえよ。
No reason, eh?
怪しいな。何か隠していないか？
んだよ。つべこべ言わずにとっとと組み分けしろっての。
I could see another possibly real fight brewing when Miyoshi finally spoke.
絶対に嫌だ。昨日みたいに質問攻めにされたくない。
Bombarded with questions again, eh? What does he mean by that? Wait, what?
バカ、言うなよ。
どういうことだ
？Suddenly all eyes were on Mitarashi. He chewed his cheek for several long seconds before finally conceding.
こいつにいろいろ聞いてたんだよ。
You ask him on a date or something? Like what?
それは決まってんだろ。こいつめちゃめちゃゲームに詳しいし。
Video games.
なんつうか、興味が湧いたんだよ。アトラクションの元になってるゲームのことがよ。
どういうゲーム機で遊べるのか、値段はいくらぐらいなのか、そしてそれぞれの細かいセールスポイントまで聞かれた。
Okay, well I guess that's revealed. As it turns out, Mitarashi's just a nerd.
買い物は下調べしてからって言うじゃないか。
He's not like a trader, he's just a big old freaking nerd.
僕はネットの検索エンジンじゃない。しかもあまりにもしつこいからうんざりして部屋に避難したのに、その後電話までかけてこられた。
This is like, well, it's funny because Miyoshi, I imagine, is probably introvert, and Mitarashi's extrovert. This is how, this is the introvert versus extrovert. This is what happens.
うんざりってお前な。
なるほど。ひとまず理解した。
That means Mitarashi was talking to Meoshi on the phone last night. I let out a silent sigh of relief. This meant that Mitarashi wasn't a traitor. But I still don't have anything that clears Shirabe. I glanced over at him while everyone was busy teasing Mitarashi, but he looked just like he always did, totally unconcerned.
ま、とりあえず話を戻すが、ここはひとまず大人である俺、そして指導、浦部は別れた方がいいだろうな。
確かにその通りだな。
おいおいおい、大人組にどうして俺が入ってないわけ？
Shido simply ignored Mitarashi's protests and routed off the group assignments.
俺と目押コータ、調べ歩と若狭とは、そして浦部君丸と御手嵐流星で3組。そして稲船咲、お前は。
Shirabe Miyoshi with Shido, Shirabe with Wakasa. So like, gamer boy with the cop, a journalist with the pop idol, and fortune teller with the muscle man. Yes?
お前は俺が守ってやるよ。今までも体張って守ってやってただろ。
いや、御手嵐流星は信用ならない。ここは刑事であるこの俺が適任だろう。
ちょっと待ってよ。僕と一緒が一番じゃない？ほら、調べさんも一緒だしさ。それに人数が多い方が怖くなくていいからさ。
At least his motives were pretty clear. What should I do? It felt nice to be wanted, but I still had to make a choice. I saw these boys fighting over the lady. I silently thanked him. More desperate pleas were not what I needed. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I mean, it would be kind of cool to, you know, I might consider, like, because there is, like, different scenes depending on what choices you might make. I don't know if I'll do literally everything, but I might consider doing multiple playthroughs. For now, though, I guess let's just stick with Shido and Meoshi, because I guess I'm just aiming for the gamer boy. Because we already did a few scenes of him, so at this point, I guess I'll just try to get his ending, you know, whatever that means. Well, Shido's reliable, and Meoshi seems to know a lot about games. Can I go with you guys? And that was that.
ひとまずそれぞれの健闘を祈る。何かあっても残念ながら携帯での連絡は許可されていない。
まあ、自分たちで何とかするしかないってことだな。
何でもどんとかかってこいっての。
We can do it, guys. Apparently. We nodded to each other as a piglet came trotting out to meet us. What the heck is this guy saying? I was still trying to figure out what we were supposed to do when Miyoshi spoke up. Oh. Okay. Oh, is it like the terror gauge, you know? If the heartbeat goes too high, they literally murder us. You know, there's like a little poison needle that kills us. Now that he'd said it though, I could see that the piglet was holding several watch-like things out toward us. Are these watches? When I pressed the button, the LCD panel lit up. Yeah, I think you're right. See, there's a little heart icon next to the number.
なるほどな。さっきお前さんが言ってた理屈からすると、心拍数が一定の数値を超えるとゲームオーバーってわけか。
He scratched his beard and the piglet nodded vigorously.
全員がこれをつけるとなると、一人でも数値を超えたらゲームクリア失敗になるのか。
7人中3人がゲームオーバーになるとクリア失敗だって。
Okay, we get 3 lives. I still wasn't sure how he understood them, but the piglet didn't show any signs of objecting, so he must have gotten it right. Wait, no, what am I thinking about how Miyoshi understands them? There's more important stuff going on.
7人中3人。半分以下の人数でアウトとは思いのほかハードだな。
Now, Wakasa's probably the first one to go.
僕もうダメかも。
He's just going to die. He's gonna get a heart attack and die.
だよ。入る前からビビりやがって。落ち着けっつうの。
Wakasa leapt nearly a foot into the air as he landed. A ringing sound came from the device around his ear. He's already dead. He didn't even go in.
たく、ビビりすぎだろ。
そっちこそいきなり背中叩かないでよ。
とにかく3人アウトでクリア失敗だ。口で言っても難しいかもしれないが、あまり怖がりすぎないようにしてくれよ。
Just don't get scared. Just don't get scared. Easy. Gosh, I hope it doesn't get too bad in there. We split off into our groups, and I headed toward the leftmost door with Shido and Miyoshi.
懐中電灯があるな。持っていこう。
He plucked the flashlight from the hook to the side of the entrance and pushed the door open. Ah yes, blood everywhere.
暗いね。
Yeah.
行くぞ。はぐれないように気をつけろ。
With only the flashlight to see by, we headed deeper into the hospital. The whole place smelled dank and moldy, and it was cold enough to make me shiver. Yeah, you see, this is not this is not an attraction. This is actually a real haunted hospital, and people have been murdered here. All the hostages has been executed in this place. Actually, our footsteps sounded loud in the empty hallway, and when a voice suddenly echoed over the intercom, I nearly stumbled.
不死者の迷宮は聖者の魂を喰らう。忍び寄る死の足音に目を凝らし、耳を澄ますんだ。
不死者の迷宮、魂を喰らう。
忍び寄る死の足音に目を凝らし耳を澄ます。
What does that all mean? The flashlight showed us the decayed, peeling walls of the hallway and pieces of something scattered across the floor.
アナウンスの意味は不明だが、ひとまずここには何もなさそうだな。
You know, Shido, can you make sure... You know, he is a cop, right? I don't know if he's in homicide, but, you know, can he make sure that the blood on the walls is actually blood? I wonder if he can do that. Just like, you know, just sniff it a little. Maybe he can tell. Well, we began to move forward again. Yeah. I felt something crunch underneath my foot. The alarm on my terror gauge began to go off.
おい、落ち着け。コンクリの破片を踏んだだけだ。
His voice was soft as he laid a reassuring hand on my shoulder. Right. I took slow, deep breaths, and after a few seconds, the alarm slowed and finally stopped. I'm sorry. I'm okay now.
アウトにならなかったから気にしないでいいよ。
そうだな。落ち着いたところで先に進もう。
Right. The announcement hadn't been metaphorical when I described the hospital as a labyrinth. The hallways turned and twisted everywhere, like a maze. I wonder if you go with the... Yeah, probably if you go with the other people. Maybe it's slightly different. I don't know if we go through a maze necessarily, or maybe we find different rooms. It feels like we could get lost in here really easily.
ああ、目印をつけながら進むことにしよう。
Shido pulled a pen out from a pocket in his suit and carefully drew a mark on the concrete.
こうしておけば、もし迷ってもまだ通ってない道がわかるね。
Like Hansel and Gretel. Well, the thing about Hansel and Gretel isn't it when Hansel, I think it was Hansel or Gretel, well, one of them, they left like a crumb of like they left crumbs on the ground so that they know how to get back, but those crumbs were eaten, you know, by birds. So like, Anyway.
もっともヘンゼルが巻いたパンくずは小鳥に食べられてしまい印を見失ってしまったがな。
Well, there you go. Shido took the words out of my mouth. I try to keep joking as we move forward, hoping that as long as I didn't think about how scary everything was, I wouldn't set off my terror gauge again. Shido and Miyoshi seem to share my sentiments, and for a while we managed almost non-stop banter. You know, that is an interesting idea, you know, in real life. Like, you could like set up a haunted house and give everyone heart rate monitors, and like if your heart rate goes up to a certain point, then you lose or whatever, right? That sounds like a cool idea. I don't know if anyone else has already done it. Maybe. We left marks behind us as we moved and eventually arrived at the staircase leading to the second floor.
あそこに病院内の案内板がある。
どれ？
He brought the flashlight. He brought the flashlight up to illuminate it. Nightmare Maze, Vivisection Lab records.
まだ先は長そうだな。
急いだ方がいいみたいだね。
We continued talking as we climbed the stairs, and at the top we found another pitch black hallway. The maze is going to make our meeting our deadline tough, but do you think there are going to be traps and stuff too?
ないわけはないと思うんだが。
Shido shook his head, but before I could respond, Miyoshi spoke up.
聞こえる。
What? Nani? What is that? From somewhere in the maze, I could hear a slow, awkward shuffling noise. Whatever it was coming closer. It's a zombie.
俺が確認してこよう。
Gotta take out your pistol, Shido. He shoved the flashlight into my hands as he spoke, then moved up to the intersection and peeked around the corner.
おい、明かりを消せ。
I scrambled to turn it off, and Shido made his way back toward us. What was it?
化け物だ。
At Shido's direction, we hid ourselves behind a nearby pillar as the noise came steadily closer and closer. Calm down. Breathe. I chanted those words to myself over and over, willing my heart to slow down and not trip my terror gauge. After a few tense minutes... This guy is literally a zombie. He has a Uzi for some reason. I didn't know zombies could shoot guns. That's usually not the case. But I guess it's possible. Yeah. A shadow carrying a lantern stepped into the intersection. Shido had been right to call it a monster. The creature's skin was peeling off, and its body was warped and twisted by scars and lesions. Lesions? Is that lesions? Lesions? Moaning and labor-breathing, accompanied by shuffling footsteps. One hand carried a submachine gun that looked sort of like an Uzi. I swallowed. The noise we heard was his footsteps. I clapped my hand over my mouth, but as I did, the alarm, my bracelet, suddenly began to ring. Whoops. Ah! Before I could even react, Miyoshi put his hand over the bracelet, muffling the noise. Right. I shut my eyes tight and let out a shallow, wavering breath. His voice in my ear was a calm whisper. Oh, ASMR. We kept our bodies as still as stones. Somehow the zombie did not hear that. Somehow. And also, I mean, it's probably not a real zombie, it's probably like a real person pretending to be a zombie? Or it could be a robot. I don't know. It could be anything, I guess. Because I wonder, like, if it is a real person pretending to be a zombie, and then they have an Uzi and everything, I wonder what will happen if Shido actually shot him, like, I don't know. Would that be self-defense? Or... well, anyway. At last, the alarm for my bracelet went silent. Oh gosh, thanks, Miyoshi, sorry.
気にしなくていいよ。あんなのが出てきたらびっくりしてもしょうがないよ。
しかし、さっきのあれは一体なんだ？
ゾンビだよ。
Zombie. Yeah, just a zombie. Just casually zombie. What? Now that I thought about it, Miyoshi had mentioned before that the attraction was based on the game that involved trying to avoid being caught by zombies.
奴が持っていたのは片手でも撃てる機関銃だ。見つかったら蜂の巣にされる危険性がある。
He looked a little nervous. Well, we've still got to make it through here without setting off our terror gauges. Now we've just got to watch out for zombies too.
ああ、慎重に行くしかないな。
How about we tackle the zombie? You know, go sneak around it and behind it, like you know, slam it to the ground, take the Uzi, and then start blasting everyone. No, I guess not. So we headed deeper in, taking care to listen for more zombies. The further we went, though, the more the hallways crisscrossed, meaning zombies could come from any direction. Shido and Meshi seemed fine. Are they even scared at all? I forced myself to take long, deep breaths in an attempt to calm my racing heartbeat, but... Okay, that was a girly scream. There's another girl in this game? I don't think we've even seen another girl in this game, as like a character anyway. We're the only one. Yeah, I felt like someone had thrown my chest in a vice. I forced my mouth shut, muffling a scream, and crouched down against the wall. Or at least I tried to crouch. Huh? Then she had wrapped his arms around me. For a moment I was stunned into silence. He's really close. It looked like he hadn't really realized what he was doing either. Yes, of course. Right. Thank you, I guess. You know, that I guess that, oh, just a small thing I just noticed. That's why their mouths are like pure white. You notice when they're speaking, you see their mouths are just pure white. It really is like the same artist for Phoenix Wright. The same thing, the mouths just like blank. They tend to do that with the artists. I can feel my heart beating pretty fast, but I don't think it's from fear this time. Rude. The words had barely crossed my mind when the alarm began to ring. Oh no. I quickly looked down my wrist, but the sound wasn't coming from my bracelet, it was coming from his, probably. Huh? You know, a character... I think I already said it, but like, I think a character just looks like Chie, you know, from Persona 4. This is really just Chie's Otome game. It was Miyoshi's gauge that was going off. He turned away and his face looked strained. Wait, is he? You... Ah, the alarm is so loud. Right. Nervously, I walked back a step away from him. That was pretty scary, but I guess it's nice like he was worried about me. Although, why did his alarm go off? Was he? No, what am I thinking? I guess we're just gonna be oblivious. Protagonist, harem protagonist, oblivious to everyone's feelings. Classic trope. I shook my head to clear it, and I took several quick, deep breaths. It sounded like a girl. Do you think there's another girl in here?
可能性はゼロではないな。もし一般人だとすれば、早く確保した方がいい。アトラクションで命を落とすか、下手をすれば爆発に巻き込まれる可能性もある。
声がした方に行こ
う。We headed off in the direction of the scream, making sure to keep our eyes open for zombies. Not again, screaming again. There he is again.
そう遠くない場所だな。
I spotted a dim light coming from around the corner to the left, the same direction the voice had come from. Do you think she's being chased by a zombie?
どうもそのようだな。急ぐぞ。
We rounded the corner and saw a zombie heading down the corridor, away from us. There! Oh, it's you. We saw it before. Further down the hallway was a shadow of someone else running away from the zombie.
お前の相手は俺たちだろ。
A zombie shuffling footsteps stopped and slowly turned to face us.
ゾンビの足は速くない。通路を回り込んで先を進む人影を追うぞ。
He yelled the zombie again and waved his flashlight. They all turned and ran. The moment we round the corner, we heard the crackle of gunfire behind us.
やつめ、俺たちを蜂の巣にするつもりのようだな。
As we drew closer to the next corner, I heard Miyoshi's footsteps start to falter. Come on, we have to keep going.
ダメだ。
Oh yeah, you know, that's another way. It's funny how many ways the heart rate monitor can go up. I guess, you know, if you're not used to exercise, that's also another way your heart rate would go up. The alarm on his bracelet began to ring and fast. He must be really out of breath. Okay. I don't know, let's just be encouraging, I guess. Just hang on a little longer. You can do it, Miyoshi, just hang in there a little longer. I grabbed Miyoshi's arm and tried to pull him forward. What? Oh no, Mom, what do you mean? It gave me a strange smile and I started to run again, but... he's dead. Miyoshi's bracelet let out a long, flat beep and went silent. I can't believe Miyoshi's dead. Ah! We rounded another corner and we're back in the hallway where we first seen the zombie. In front of us was a door illuminated by several emergency lights. Let's go. We left through the door.